Going on, everybody? Boy JC in the house, round two. Tonight topic is the power of abuse. I have a special guest with me tonight, Keisha Wade. We did a video a while back. You can, but she should be on here shortly. So everybody gather around. What's going on, Mario? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Everybody gather around. Your boy C and
Hey,
Keisha.
have
Hey, what's up?
hey,
How you doing? How you
nothing
doing
much.
today?
I'm good. I wanted to, hey, Nikisha, I wanted to turn some music on. That's how good I'm feeling.
What we doing tonight?
um, well, excited. But tonight we're gonna talk about um abuse of power.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I wanted you to introduce yourself to everybody. Tell everybody about yourself, what you're trying to do.
Hey, Amanda. Hey Faith, hi, my name is Keisha Wade. I am the host of, Lord, I got nervous all of a sudden. Really? Coaching Moment with Keisha. I am a internationally certified life coach, and I am here to bring joy, bring love, bring self-awareness, and help those who has been through broken relationships, just broken, and just educate. Yes.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's good. So when you talk about the power of abuse, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
All right. So let's talk about that. Um,
Well, yeah, let's go, everybody gather around. Sean, Amanda, Dana, Erica, Amanda, Nisha. What's going on, everybody? Everybody gather around. So when you say power of abuse, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
all right. So the first thing came to my mind because I wanted to talk about narcissistic abuse and abuse, period. Just the topic would have been narcissistic abuse and a general talking about abuse. When what I wanted to talk about, oh goodness, what I wanted to talk about, it just like the Holy Spirit just put in, hey, hmm, abuse of power, because what I'm going to talk about is everyone's going to see why I chose the topic abuse of power. And when I think of abuse of power, I'm thinking about abusing the authority that you have, like a police officer, any kind of authoritative figure. And I'm sorry if I'm all over the place, y'all. I don't script or anything like that. Whatever is downloaded, I say.
All
Well,
right.
somebody made a comment before we start. Can you do a talk on the new norm, men asking for money and ghosting? I'll be here for it. And did I miss that? Nikisha, we can definitely, me and Jay can come back and do that one.
Oh,
What you
okay.
like about that?
You talking about
Money,
you
yeah,
talking about
men
golden?
asking for money
You talking
and
about golden men
ghosting.
out here asking women to take care of them and stuff. Yeah,
Huh?
yeah, it's a complete. No, you're talking about women asking, no, men asking women to take care of them and stuff, finance them, and basically be their mommy or second mother.
Yeah, and ghosting. Oh my God, that's the biggest topic. I posted something like that on my page. If they ghost, does that mean they've put in their resignation? That's what I said. Yeah, we'll have to go. We'll have to do another show on that, Jay.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right about that. I
Yes.
go on. You go on.
Okay. Someone said very cowardly and disrespectful. Yes, it is, Nikisha. So I wanted to. let you all know that I am an advocate for abuse. I've been through physical, emotional, and mental abuse. And I like to bring awareness to everyone else. Can you see me, Jay?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay. And I wanted to show you all my bracelet. Um, I support domestic violence charities and etc. And this is one of my bracelets. And domestic violence is not talked about enough. I don't think bringing more awareness to people, I don't think that's a topic that should never diminish. I think that you should always bring awareness in regards to domestic violence and abuse. So, Jay, I wanted to kind of talk about, I was watching, let me tell you why I wanted to talk about this tonight. So, I was watching Netflix. Okay, Netflix is whew, I love it. So, I was watching Greenleaf. Hey, and so something told me to just watch the movies. And the movie Only Mine, Only Mine, Mine, popped up. And I was like, and it said it was based on a true story. So I said, okay, let me get on this. Let me jump on this and let me see what this is about. So I did. And Only Mine brought me, and I want you all to, I'm gonna put it in the comments here. I think you all should watch that movie. It's called Only Mine, and it's on Netflix. I'm just typing it in because I want y'all to. This is a good resource. Um, this young lady was being stalked, and what she had. Let me kind of tell you about the movie a little bit because I don't want to spoil it. So this young lady got pulled over by a police officer. She was pulled over by a police officer and she felt an attraction to the police officer. Okay. So the police officer, I guess, must have felt the same. So he decided to start coming to her after he stopped her. He let her go or whatever without a ticket. And then he came to her workplace and she was just so excited. So she ended up approaching him and he made the comment, "Oh, you're trying to ask me out for a date?" She was like, "Okay, yes." So she started dating this guy and he started to show signs of abuse, like acting overly jealous. And at first, it was cute to her at first, oh, he just loved me. He just acting like a little jealous high school boy. He don't want anybody about touching me or looking at me or whatever the case may be. So the signs were there, but she kept excusing the signs by saying, oh, he just, maybe he just had a bad day. Oh, maybe he was just going through something, oh, it may be something from his past, etc. And she just kept excusing it. To one day, he showed up at her friend's house while she was babysitting. And the guy actually started, calling and calling and calling and calling prior to coming. And she didn't answer the phone, but she couldn't because she was babysitting, right? So he comes to the door and she's like, what are you doing here? And that was another red flag. And so, he approached her aggressively, saying, always keep your phone on at all times because I have to get in touch with you. I have to make sure you're okay. And it startled her. So it prompted her to say, you know what? I don't think this is a good relationship for me. So she started blowing him off. So eventually she kind of started trying to think he would get the hint and just leave her alone. She didn't want to be with him anymore. So he came to her house. He showed up at her house the next day and he came in his police uniform on. And he put a rake in her face, something like an object, to show her, if you leave me alone or you don't get back with me, I am going to kill you. So her mom called the police department and was like, look, you need to get a hold of your officer, chief. This dude is crazy. He's trying to come over here and do something to my daughter. He didn't pay any attention. So the chief was like, okay, I'll take care of it. So he approached the police officer and he asked the officer, are you over there threatening this young lady? Are you abused, showing some type of form of abuse or etc.? He was like, oh, chief, you believe that girl? She crazy. Oh, she just crazy. We've been having some hard times and she just upset right now. Don't pay any mind to her. So, make a long story short, the young lady put a peace bond on him, or a restraining order, whatever you want to call it. Her mom was trying to bring awareness to the chief of police, and he was saying he would take care of it. The guy kept telling him, no, she's crazy. He was known in town because he's the police officer. Everybody think, he is such a great guy. And they started attacking her, saying, leave him alone. Don't stop talking about him. He's a good guy. He's an upstanding guy. He's a police officer. He protects us here in this town, and yada yada yada. But at the end, and I don't want to spoil it because I want y'all to go and look at it. At the end, and first of all, it shows what happened in the beginning, so I'm not spoiling it. He ends up shooting her in the head. Okay? So this is why I said abuse of power. This guy, first of all, was a narcissist. He was an abuser. He was controlling. Yeah, Shoshana, the good guy look. And this is, and no disrespect to my police officers that's watching, I'm just saying, a lot of authoritative figures that's in authority, especially police officers, because when I was violated by a police officer. Oh, I'm sorry, Dre. But I feel that sometimes it depends on the job that they have, especially they're well known or well respected. People don't believe the victim. You see what I'm saying, Jay? They don't always believe the victim. They believe that police officer over her. And this has happened a lot, where I've seen young ladies are abused and they go and they file charges on these guys, and they know someone in the police department, and they get away with it. So this is what angers me, because a lot of narcissists sign up for these type of positions. They go and they get in maybe a security guard, police officer. I don't know another one, Jay, that they go and get jobs in, that they can use their power to.
I mean, anything like management or supervisor, anything like that. You're like, you're covering enough, a lot of associates and stuff. You do tend to see a lot of men abuse that kind of power. I feel like they're above everybody else.
And I just want you to kind of shed some light on this, because oh yes, Joshana, those firemen are too. Attorney, yep. I've dealt with. I had a boyfriend that was this was a long time ago, and he was a fireman, and you know he showed, educated men, period. Wow, just trying to say educated men, period. And firemen too. I've had firemen who has several women because I think they do 7 on and 7 off, and they work around the clock. And during that period of time, and it's easy for them to say they're going out of town, and people don't believe
Right.
that, and some people don't believe that's abuse, but that's abuse, Jay. That's emotional abuse, because you have people like that have double lives. They have double lives. They have 2 families, and they can actually cause emotional abusive scars because they have to try to keep up both lives, and eventually one or the other or either both are going to get um, neglected some type of way.
Yeah. Yeah, and also truck drivers too. You know, guys that be driving the big trucks to state. You gotta be aware of those too. But yeah,
Yes.
what you just said, it basically just men and wolves in sheep's clothing. We're talking about in Matthew.
Mhm.
Wolves in clothing. Guys keep thinking that thugs just wear their pants below their butt and wear t-shirts and stuff like that. But as far as anybody can be a threat. It can be your mailman, it can be your doctor, it can be your post office man. Everybody you have to be cautious of whoever you deal with. Just by his profession.
Mhm.
That's why with the whole R. Kelly situation, because you're famous, because you got a lot of money, you have to still take time to look at their character, their integrity, and their morals as well. Don't just look at their job profession as well.
Mhm.
It's important to have a man that has that's working, a good ethic, but look at his character as well, because that's just a portion of what he is. That's just a side of him you see is at work.
Mhm.
You got to see how he is with his children, his family, co-workers, people in general, and how active is he within the community as well.
Mhm.
So just quit just looking as this a police or fireman or any kind of profession. It's good to have that, but you gotta dig a little bit deeper when you're choosing somebody. That's
Right.
for both races,
Right.
both genders.
And I have seen where police officers have, especially when I say abuse of power, where police officers and people that have that badge or have that uniform on, they they build relationships in the community, and they build relationships with different people, and especially if they got a chief of police um, that I guess what you call the code, and they get away with so much because that's why a lot of it is swept under the rug, because when they report them, you find out, oh well, the paperwork is missing, or oh, I don't think my officer would do something like that. And that just made me just come to the realization that this needed to be discussed. um when I saw that movie, it just brought back so much with me, that I see other women going through this, especially the one that violated me. I think about, the things that he's doing now, and then I find out that he had a whole another family, a young lady that was pregnant. She was pregnant, and only way I found out, a friend of mine said, "Hey, girl, guess what? Such and such just had a baby today." So I'm I'm already hurt because of what he done, but then now you are with someone that you can possibly destroying their life, and you have brought a baby into this world. And women, let me tell you something. Just because you have a baby with this man does not mean that you have the upper hand. Let me make that clear to you. Just because you have children with a man does not mean does not mean that that man loved you. Just because that man, because this is what he did, he goes to church with her. So guess what? She feel like, oh, God's gonna change him. And you just gotta know that when you're dealing, and he's a narcissist, and when you're dealing with a narcissistic or controlling type mentality of a person, period, they don't look at love the way that we look at love. They don't, a person that there's abusive, they don't look at love as the same as we look at love. You got to understand that. And especially with abusive type men, they use sex to pull you in. Sex is the trigger, because let me tell you, a narcissist and a person that's controlling, they are smarter than what you think they are. They know what to do because they're controlled by the enemy, what to do to steal your soul, to steal your joy. Stephanie said, sad thing is some of us don't know how to get out of it. And you know what, Stephanie? When I was in that abusive relationship, I felt a darkness over me, a cloud of darkness over me. I literally felt like the world was just, the walls and everything was just caving in, and I didn't know how to get out of it. But I had, amen, Yoshana, I had to pray. And let me tell you something else that you need to do. I'm not saying that you have to listen. So let me make this clear. I'm not saying that you have to listen to everyone and when someone tries to give you advice. But some people that truly, genuinely care about you and love you is looking from the outside. They're looking. See, you got blinders on, so you don't see it. But people on the outside see the abuse. They see what's going on. And when a loving person that truly means you out of goodness of their heart and loving you, you need to listen to them. When they tell you your behaviors are not the same, you don't act the way that you used to, and you need to get out. You need to listen. And how you get out, you have to educate yourself and have a plan. You have to have a plan to get out. And let me tell you, controlling men or women, abusers, when they abuse you financially, which means they can use you for money and they can't get out, they don't have a way to go. And if you're not married to them, you go and put them on your lease or your house note. Let me tell you something. That's the worst mistake you can ever make. Allowing someone to move in with you and put their name on your lease or your home, and you are not in a marriage, or you're courting moving into marriage. I'm telling you right now, if you have an abuser in your life, that's going to be the biggest mistake of your life, because it's going to be hard to get rid of them, because they're going to feel like their name is on that and you are not going to be able to put them out, period. If they bought you a car and their name on it, you best believe they're going to use that over your head. You end up trying to find a place. That's the first thing they're gonna do is use this leverage. Oh, I bought you this car, and you're not gonna have a way to work, or you don't have anything. And I was a small town girl. I was young and didn't know much about dating, and I was just naive. And I was excited because he had so much, and I ended up dealing with him and moving in with him and not having anything of my own. So guess what? I depended on him financially, and then I started putting his money with my money. So guess what? I was able to live. And so just the thought of, oh my God, I have to leave him or him leave me. Oh my God, I'm gonna be by myself with these bills and I can't pay for this. Oh yes, Roshana, if you share kids, they will use that too. Let me tell you, that's the biggest. Let me tell you, children are the best. And I don't want you all to get offensive when I say this, offended when I say this, but this is I've dealt with narcissistic men and controlling men all my life. I was called to men. I'm a life coach for men, and I was called to this, and I have basically felt like I've been a man all my life. If y'all mean what I let me tell you, I have to tell y'all later on what I mean by that. I am a woman, but I'm saying I've had a man's mentality. And I found out why. It's because God called me to men. And Hilshana. So I'm telling you, they will use kids, and they will, let me tell you another thing that they will do. Sometimes they will deny the children before they even get here. I've had one to say, "Oh, that's not my baby. Oh, she's a she ain't no good. She done slept with all these men. It ain't my baby." They'll not claim these kids, and then on behind closed doors, they're with those women and they kissing on those babies. Because 9 times out of 10, they have to put on a front so they won't put child support on them. Okay, so they giddy play with the children, but then if they want to reel you in, they'll tell you, "Oh, that's not my baby anyway," or they'll tell and when they get you pregnant, that's a score for some of them too, because they always have that supply, which is their children, to hold over your head or to dominate you or tell you what you cannot do around the child. They'll go forth and saying, "I don't want no any man around my children," and they'll try to stop the dating phase for you, where you can't even date because he's causing problems or she causing problems. Women do it too. Stephanie said, "I thank God for Jesus. The blinders came off over a year ago. I got free. Thank God I went through it all." Stephanie, let me tell you, God loves you. Jesus, yes. Because a lot of people walk around with these blinders on and they feel that they can change these people. You cannot change someone that's not self-aware. You can't change people that don't know any better. And you can't change somebody that's not openly to admit there's something going on with them. They use their kids as baits. They use power. They're, especially when they are in a position of power, they use that so much to the point where, it swells their head up. It swells their head up and they feel like they above anyone. Like JC said, they feel like they above all. And they got,
Yeah, the ego.
yeah, and they create this power in their head. Like they literally create this type of mentality in their head. I served in the army, or I served in the armed forces, and I protected the country. So y'all better respect me. You better put some respect on my name because I served the country. Or I'm a police officer and I serve and I protect, you know? And that's why I say abuse of power. No, you can't change people. Um, you can't change people, Brilliant. And Stephanie said they love to fall victim and make you believe it's your fault. Oh, honey, I can't wait to start teaching my classes on this because I can talk all day about it. Yes, they love to fall victim. They have a victim's mentality and they will try to make it your fault. They'll tell you, especially when you have kids by them, um, you had this baby and I didn't want any kids, but you like, wait a minute, do you not protect yourself, bro or girl? Women do it too. And no, you can't change people. I had to learn that a long time ago. I don't care how much love you pour on these people when they're abusive and they have that mentality. You can't change them. They make you think nobody loves you but them. Yes. And guess what? They really truly don't love you. I'm just gonna be
Yeah.
honest with you. They, if anything, they make you think that nobody abused you like they abuse you. That's what you need to put in there. And
Yeah, you're right about that.
I was told nobody would ever want to be with me without my children. And Brilliant, let me tell you something. You are beautiful. You are a queen. And God has someone for you. I don't know if you have someone now. But let me tell you something. They will tell you because you have children that nobody's going to want you. I was told that too. No man is going to want you with those kids by me. You're going to be by yourself But let me tell you, a strong man of God or a strong woman of God gonna accept if you have kids or not. They're gonna love you. They're gonna love you and those kids. It takes a strong man of God, a strong woman of God to even be able to help you and be there for you and your kids.
Yeah, it's a package deal.
Yes, it's a
What's going
package
on,
deal.
Terrence? What's going on? What's going brilliant? What's going on? Stephanie, Lakeisha. But yeah, though, like I said, you gotta, as far as the narcissistic, I mean, they're gonna try to isolate you. They're gonna try to make sure that everything's your fault.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, we just gotta do a better job as far as just seeing the red flags and quit looking through stuff through rose-colored glasses, and hoping that someone's gonna change and their behaviors doesn't line up to what they want.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said before, it could be anybody. It could be, your remote man. It could be a principal or teacher, anybody. And just that badge makes them feel like they're above anybody else. But at the end of the day, everybody is under the God. I don't care how much money you make. At the end of the day, you wake up, you put your shirt on, you put your pants on like the next person. So you're no greater than nobody else, and quit allowing your title to define you. 'Cause that's not who you are. That's what you do. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's not who you are. That's what people have to distinguish from who they are and what they do for a living.
Right. And it goes for anybody. Like you said, JC, it doesn't matter what type of position, but it makes it hard when they have power. Um,
Yeah.
you know, it makes it so hard because then they have people that enable enable them. They have cheerleaders. They have backsided. They have people that cheerlead. That cheerleader on the side, whether it's their mom, their dad, family member, cousin, whatever family member, friend, even strangers. They have people that they can manipulate, and they'll say, oh, they have everybody fooled. Oh, they're a good man of God. Oh, they're a good woman of God. Oh, you can't talk about him. You can't talk about her. They're good. They good. You don't know what these people are like behind closed doors. And let me tell you something else. And they will, and JC, let me tell you something. They will glorify you in public and make a person feel so good. Let me tell you, a narcissist is something. A narcissist is when I say something, they are something. So they blow your head up, right? And make you feel like you're the most magnificent person in the world to keep you covered, you know. So the guy that I want to reference to, the one that did that to me, he actually proposed to his girlfriend, right? On a live, right? He proposed to this
Hmm.
woman on a live. I'm talking about millions of people watching. And so when the video was showed on social media, this young lady said she got thousands and millions of women calling her saying, he has babies by me. He's engaged to me. um we supposed to get married. I just had a baby with him. Our baby 3 years old. And she like, oh my God. So it was so many women coming at him, and to the point where he got mad at her for showing the video. But he kept it on the page to make her feel good. And when the women said they asked him about the video, he told them that wasn't me. That wasn't me that was on that video. And then he told one of them he was just playing. He was just doing something to be, it was a staged engagement. They'll put you on this cloud nine and put you all on Facebook and show you off. That's just the coddling stage, I call it. Don't believe when they start glorifying you that they are so in love with you and they want to change. They're about to be a changed person now because they're showing you to everybody. Okay, Stephanie said, I was told that when I had my first child in college, 4 years later, I got married to someone else who took my SPN children, his as
To
his
a spouse,
what did it say, SP?
I'm a divorce now. Yeah, well, I was married for 15 years.
Okay, I'm
And Stephanie
divorced.
said,
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie
Go
said,
ahead, Jay.
yes, his family knew he was in his family. Nobody never stood up to him, but I had Jesus with me when I stood my ground and said enough is enough. Yeah, like I said,
Amen.
it take a strong woman, take a strong woman, a strong man to walk away from toxic situations. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy. People, you can know the right thing to do, but when you're mostly involved with somebody, it's hard to think straight and use your own better judgment. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Good, Stephanie. The
So,
topic is power of abuse. What were you going to say?
so this really, it just got. Let me tell you something, y'all. Your voice is powerful. Oh, Stephanie says son. Sorry, it's okay. Um, the enemy is tugging at me right now because he does not want me to talk about this. And if you and whomever is on here that's believing Holy Spirit, you know what I'm talking about. Like right now, JC, the enemy does not like me talking about this tonight. The enemy is pissed off right about now because the awareness is real. And I talk about this type of abuse, especially narcissistic abuse, it's because let me tell y'all, it is not a normal breakup. It is not a normal relationship because you will suffer from. Stephanie said, talk, please talk. Yes. Y'all, please, your voice, you got to tell somebody. You got to tell your story and you got to use your voice to get out the situation. I don't care how scary as it look, but you need to walk by faith and not by sight. Yes, I rebuke you, Satan. Yes, because he does not want me to talk about this tonight. But I am encouraging you to use your voice and talk about this because individuals that go through this type of abuse, they suffer from chronic, especially as a result from chronic abuse. Individuals suffer from PTSD, anxiety, depression. When you're a narcissistic victim, you suffer, and it is not a normal breakup. It took me 4 to 7, almost 7 years to get back to my normal self. I am single right now, and I'm glad because God had to heal me emotionally, mentally, physically. I had to get my heart back. I had to get back to Keisha. So when the right man do come, I can pour authentic love, characteristics of love of Jesus. And you cannot get through this overnight. And this is why I like to bring awareness so that you can get out early. I suffered through many years of this. And when I say many years, I'm talking about 13, 14 to 15 years of this. And I don't want anybody else to go through this. And I'm going to give y'all some signs to look for. Brilliant said to Stephanie, yes, the families back up some behaviors. You have to know when you've had enough. Yeah, because they will back them up. They will back them up, especially those mothers. I've had several mothers that sit there and blame the women. And I'm just speaking from a woman's point of view. I've had the mom to get mad at me and talk about me. This man put out here that I was such this mean woman and that I had him scared. And she took up for him, saying, well, yeah, baby, you know, it was probably you weren't doing this or doing that. And let me tell you, those family members will take up for them. They will take up for them. And they don't know that they're hurting them worse by covering this up. I've had one where the sister wanted to rip me to pieces. But you don't know what your brother doing to me over here. You don't know what your brother put me through. But he's telling you something different. You have to open up your eyes.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to know about narcissism. Yes, they do, Yoshana. And I specialize in helping victims that go through narcissistic abuse. I coach men that suffers from narcissistic abuse. I coach men who has suffered and they're recovering, even though they say they don't change. I coach women that deal with this type of man, or if a man deal with a woman, I coach this. And I have classes. I'm going to start having classes on narcissism. My group, the Soul Guard, that is my narcissistic informational page. If you all want to join it, I talk about it in there, and then you can sign up for classes with me. I can even coach one-on-one with you and be there with you all the way through the type of abuse and give you more awareness, because you can only do so much on a live. You can only give so much information on a live.
Yeah. Portland said, yes, it happened to me while I was trying to get some help. His mother got upset with me, just said, I'm healed now through the grace of God. William said, right, I had all the siblings thinking I'm the devil. Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, parents, family members have to stop covering and stop just looking at their son as their son and look at it as a huge issue for a lot of people, though.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of women, they do to men like to coddle their sons or try to be kind of dust it off. Oh, well, he's not like that, but you never seen your son in those type of interactions, so you really don't know what's going on, and you don't need to, despite what she's saying, because that is your son or that is your relative, that you overlook that and you don't
Mm-hmm.
look at stuff right from wrong, and you cloud your judgment because y'all are family members. They need to step up too and make sure that they uh, report the BS that they see as well and quit sweeping everything underneath the rug.
Mm-hmm. And that's what they do, Jay. And like I said, almost all the family members sweep it under the rug, and you go to them and tell them what's going on. They look at you and they say that you're the evil one. You're crazy. You're the one that has the problem, not that person. And if they only knew what their son or daughter is doing behind closed doors. And Stephanie said, thank you for your strength. Thank you so much. Yes, that son done no wrong according to the evil mom. Yep, that's true. Yes, it happened to me while I was just trying to get him some help. His mom got upset with me, just said, I am healed now through the grace of God. Amen, Cortland. And let me tell you something, Cortland. Like I said, they will get upset with you and say that you're the one that you're the problem, instead of holding them accountable, right? I've had all the siblings thinking I'm the devil. Oh yeah, Brie. Oh honey, they will, and they will. I've had one almost, like I said, fight me. Literally, was about to jump on me. Okay, and I don't know if that. Well, I'm just real. Yep, wanted to fight me. Is it coming from a narcissistic person to say you're the narcissist? Oh, yes, honey. Let me tell you, Brilliant. They will tell you that you're the narcissist. And let me tell you how you know you're not the narcissist, because you're self aware. You won't even worry about narcissism or even think of narcissism if you were the one that had the narcissist tendencies. Now, I'm going to tell you, some of us do have narcissism in us, but we talking about the NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, and the ones that has no self-awareness, and the one that is infected by the Jezebel spirit. And I'm telling you, it's a such thing as that Jezebel spirit. Oh, good, Brilliant. Yes, I can't wait to inbox you. And Yoshana said, if people don't have discernment, it's hard to spot. Yes, let me tell you, the best thing for you to do in your prayer life is pray for increase of discernment, y'all. Let me tell you something. You need to turn it up. Get your when I say turn up, turn up, turn up, you better turn up that discernment and that wisdom. Because if your discernment is off, you are not going to be able to spot that narc, because they are so charming and they talk a good game and they talk a good talk and they look like they the best in the world. You have narcissists that walk around here that's public speakers, and they even talk about narcissism. So you won't even think that they're narcissists because they sitting up here talking about it. So you gonna definitely not have discernment. If you don't have discernment, you're gonna get fooled, because you thinking these public speakers that's literally around here talking about narcissism. Well, they talk about it, but they may not be one. Oh yeah, that's a cover up. They watch the talk in town. They watch the talk of the town, and they figure out what narcissism is. They study it, and then they go out there and teach it. And if
Yeah.
people, okay, yeah, go ahead, Jay.
No, from understanding, I believe that there's a lot of stigma to this day about seeking help. So people may know in their heart they need to change, but see looking for change as a sign of weakness. They're on top that they have people advocating their behavior. It gets worse. Yeah, a lot of people don't want to, get the help that they need, or are too prideful to get help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
yeah.
you know, yeah, like I said, a lot of people they do encourage that kind of behavior towards other people, and the cycle continues.
And you know, I had the I had the young lady that I even had to go forth as getting therapy for the abuse that um I felt like I was at fault for. But I went and got the best therapist here in town, and she even wanted me to go to the victim that he had the baby with and was so-called engaged to, and tell her about it to bring awareness to her. But then you have to think about it. You have to be careful with that, because when you go and you tell people about this, or tell her, she's going to think you're jealous, that he didn't want you and he didn't want to be with you. So now you're trying to break their relationship up. Then you have the ones that glorify it. I had one to come to me and give me a report that he was with the young lady at church and had the baby with them and all this and that, yada, yada, yada. And to me, it was like he was glorifying the situation. And I'm like, don't bring that mess to me. I don't want to hear that mess. Um, Stop glorifying this relationship. It's not making anyone jealous, okay? Because this person has a problem, and we need to start bringing more unity and bringing people together to either if this man or this woman don't get help, get out. um Tiffany said, show sis, thank you. You are very welcome for all you do. You are very welcome. What's interesting is this thing is pervasive and happens all classes and worldwide. Yes, it does. And people don't talk much about it. They're scared to talk about it. Or like I said, the enemy try to stop you from talking about it. He doesn't want you talking about it because he know that it's so many of these narcissists walking around and these abusers that people are scared to talk. And scared that they're going to lose friends or lose a family member. Truly, you didn't lose anything. What you're doing is gaining your self-respect back and your self-power and yourself, period. Pamela said, I believe there is a lot of stigma to this day about seeking help. Did you read that already, Jay?
Yeah. I read that one.
Okay.
Stephanie said she didn't like the fact that I gave my life to Christ. He claimed I slept with every man in the church. He damned the church because he saw me get help from above, giving me strength that I needed. Yeah, I mean, you gotta go to the Lord. You gotta ask Him, to clear this person. Is the person right for you? You gotta have core values. You gotta have some of the principles as well. You can't just. Well, you might not have to go by your own intuition. You might need to ask the Lord above to see if the person is right for you and make your decisions accordingly.
And the reason why, Jay, that he didn't want Stephanie to turn her life over to Christ, because that was light. She was about to get some light shined on her. And they don't want light. They don't want you to have light. They don't want your eyes open. They want them closed. And when they're open, they can't do a lot of manipulative tactics on you. They can't use that thing with you anymore. And they know that once you turn your life over to Christ, you about to be delivered. You about to be saved out of this. You better get out. It's time for you to get out. And they know that Jesus is not gonna play, because they don't. To me, and I'm gonna tell you something else about a narcissist too. They talk about Jesus and they talk about the Lord. They talk about God and the Holy Spirit. They use that too as a magnet. Those type gain the women of God. Okay, they got God that all over them, and they just love God with all their heart and Jesus, and they use that. I had one to do it. Let me tell you, he was a deacon. He was a deacon in church. This man prayed with me, hand in hand with my cousin and my friends, thanking God for me. Okay. I'm telling you, I've been through it all. The book that I call in, the book that I'm writing right now to this day is going to have testimonies, and it's going to have what I mean a soul catching experience. It's going to save some people.
Yeah, like I said before, like I said, you can't always trust people in the church too. Like I said, the wolves in sheep's clothing just because they're preaching, just because they're bishop, pastor doesn't mean that they're in the right. You look at John Gray, you look at
Mm-hmm.
Crocodile Dollar.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many preachers that's out here doing some heinous stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you just gotta be cautious. I'm not saying you just discern yourself in church, but just be cautious of who you follow, and just be aware of what they're talking about and do their actions line up to what they're preaching.
Yes. And I'm so glad you say that. You all need to guard your ear gates. Let me tell you that right now. You need to guard your sight and your ears, because not everyone that you follow has good intentions. Like I said, like I was saying, Jay, some of these people, they get on lives and they get on here and they just talk about nothing, or they just want attention and they just talk to get attention. And it's not that they're trying to bring awareness, they just want to talk. and they just want to be seen. And yes, some of these preachers out here, and and I have good friends that's pastors, um, and I I don't say all of them are this way, but yes, most of them are that way. I've had pastors that try to date me and they're married. I've had pastors who um try to date me and they're engaged, and then I look on Facebook, they announcing their wedding that they got. I'm like, wait a minute, you were just talking to me. Hold on, wait a minute now. You know, um, yeah, pastors do it too. Okay, it's pastors do this too. I had one that asked me, can I borrow $10 because I'm short on my flight, my ticket. What? But he'll tell you he has a mega church.
Yeah, it was messed up. Shauna said
She said,
narcissists are you? Yeah, Shauna said narcissists are often married. Yeah, a lot of them are married, and they basically control the wife. Allow her to dictate whether she can go out or not, dictate if she can have company, dictate if she can have friends or any kind of companionship with her family or friends, and he does isolate them. So just because you're married doesn't mean everything is good, and that's the one thing that people have to realize. Just because you're married doesn't mean everything is sunny. And like I said, know your intuition and enjoy your singleness until God brings you your husband, until your husband finds you, your real husband. He's not about games. He's all about you and trying to make best decision for yourself and himself. Y'all are package deal.
mm-hmm.
So, like I said, very very controlling. He could be also abusive as well. And just because he's there presently doesn't mean he's not there emotionally as well. So you gotta be cautious of that as well. You know.
Mm-hmm. And I like what Perlisha said about, well, and Stephanie said the church is a hospital. People are at different levels in their belief. That's true.
Yeah.
They sure are.
Yeah. Yeah.
They are a hospital. They really are. And Tiffany said they be the worst ones, but if you knew history, that wouldn't surprise you. Yep. It really don't surprise you now. And then Perlisha said, have your own personal relationship with God and don't rely on man to give you a word. That's why it's important that the pastors have a strong front line of intercessors and prayer warriors. Let me tell you something, Perlisha, I'm so glad you said that, because let me tell you something.
Yeah.
When she a wife or she's about to be your wife, she is the office, and she is that man's intercessor, and she is his prayer partner. Okay, and in order to do that, you got to have a personal relationship with God. Let me tell you, God took me on a journey, and I believe that the man's supposed to teach me the word, because it's taught that we are the weaker vessels, and the man's supposed to teach you. Let me tell you something. God took me on a journey, and he's still taking me through this journey. He's taking me through, he's stretching me. He's stretching me. He's stretching me so I can't be stretched anymore. He gonna keep stretching me, and I'm moving to a higher level. And let me tell you how I knew I was moving higher and higher, when God showed me, you need to get yourself in this Bible and you learn this word, and you learn me, because his words is him. The Bible is him. You got to get into the Bible. Don't always, you may meet a man that don't even know anything about the Bible, and you may have to lead him to that word. How are you going to lead him to the word if you don't know, or if you don't even
Mm-hmm.
start? You can't, women, and don't dismiss a man because he don't know the Bible. Don't dismiss a man because he may not know the word back and forth, back and forward. Don't you dare, because a lot of women of God Dismiss men that don't know the Bible. Let me tell you something. These men, the men that do know that Bible front, backward, forward, they are the devils. They are the devils because they use the word and they learn it. Okay? They learn it and they use it not for good. They use it for their own selfish reasons. So get in that Bible yourself,
Yeah.
ladies, and read it so you can know. And
Yeah,
God
like I
gonna
said,
show you how to take care of that man.
yeah, you're right about that. No, I just want to say, wait, what's going on, Jessica? I just want to say, don't really somewhat listen to man as far as, understand, God, what he has in store for you, trying to think about, preachers being corrupt. You have to learn the Bible, learn the word for yourself, and quit trying to dictate as far as trying to go to somewhere else to figure it out. Where you said
I
mine knew it backwards and forward.
Oh, she said here, yeah, they will. They study it. You're welcome, brilliant. You can keep talking, Jay. Yeah, they're gonna know backwards and forward. They learn it. They learn it. I wanted to
Yeah, like I
point
said,
something out. Keep talking.
then I just wanted to say, like I said, they know the Bible, they know how to get you, and like I said, you just gotta know the red flags, know when to get out. You know, like I said, like Keisha is saying though, you gotta know the word for yourself, and just make sure that you educate yourself. And you meet a man, he doesn't know the word, he doesn't know what it's about. That you take time to teach it to him. If he doesn't want to learn, then that's somebody you don't need to be messing with. If that's one of your core values and one of your core needs. You know, because how can a man lead you? He hasn't submitted himself to God. That doesn't make any sense as far as trying to lead you, and he doesn't know where he's going. He doesn't have any kind of vision, no kind of plan. All he has is just telling you smoke and mirrors and selling you dreams. So you gotta be cautious of who you're listening to and what direction are you going, because he can have a vision for himself, his game plan, but he might not have a vision for yourself. And you want to have a vision for yourself, and you want to have a vision for your partner. So
Right.
y'all are, so y'all like are in sync. One for your personal, and you have one for your relationship. And that was, I think, a lot of when they fail to realize when you hear vision, they just hear, you following the man, but he has to have vision, purpose with you included too, as opposed to just his personal growth and development. You know.
Um, I was the reason why I was I'm over here in my little world over here. Um, I the young lady said, we aren't weaker. We are the spiritual component in this equation. Yes, we are, Tiffany. But if you read in the Bible about when Eve bit that apple, God gave man dominion over the woman. Okay, and I wanted to point it out when I meant by that. It actually said in my Bible scholars out there, if I'm not mistaken, it said it in there that because the reason why the Lord made Adam um, and made her. I can't even. I'm thinking, y'all. I'm sorry. I got my Bible out, so that's why I'm looking. Because I like to back up what I'm saying. I don't want people to think that I'm just talking here. I like to back it up with the word. But
Yeah.
if any of my Bible scholars out there, if I'm not mistaken, he said the reason why he gave man, Adam, dominion, because she fell weak to Satan. She ate the apple, and and was approached by Satan, and she was fooled. She was fooled. But you can go ahead, Jay. I'm just trying to find it. Brother used to say that's it.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, Stephanie was talking about being equally yoked. Yeah, you gotta be equally yoked in any kind of endeavor you have with somebody. Like I said, you gotta be able to connect mentally, physically, emotionally as well, and have the same core values. At least, because you don't want to be unequally yoked. You don't want to be with an atheist. You want to be with someone Muslim, and y'all don't have the same beliefs, and y'all going to different directions.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really important to be equally yoked and have the same core values, have the same vision as far as where y'all going as a couple, as a unit. Yeah, and also as far as the power of abuse, I mean, it can be mentally, physically, emotionally, all kinds of abuse, emotionally. Not really being there for her, especially when she's in a deep depressed state, not willing to, give her an undivided attention or cater to her love language, which may be act of service, gift giving, physical touch. Uh, so you got to figure out each other's love languages and see what's best for each other, because the way you want to be loved, it's gonna be different than how the other person can be loved. So it's important for y'all to sit down and figure out which is the best way to be loved and cater to. That goes for both genders.
Right.
You still looking for it?
Yeah, I will. I I will eventually find it. Um, I will eventually find it here. I got it marked somewhere here, but um, look, Cortland said
Portland
Google
said
it.
Google it.
Let's see.
But yeah, like I said, physical abuse, somebody putting their hands on them, putting their hands on you, they're not allowing you to be at your finest, your best, or jealous that you're, making more money. That could be a good sign of control too, and they're jealous of all that. So Tiffany said, but in today's climate, after many of us have been damaged, there are many women who have been called to lead our world completely imbalanced, and our men suffer mentally, physically, emotionally, some to the point no return. We have to stand a protector of our children, the people, and our culture. Yeah, you're right about that, Tiffany. I mean, it is reversed. Women are more in their masculine, and men are in their feminine, and it's really imbalanced because women are really brought to put in a lot of work and have to cover the man and herself, and she don't have a covering. She don't have anybody to provide for her, and I don't mean just physically or mentally, but emotionally as well. Nobody really cares about black women as a whole. Outside of sex,
Mm-hmm.
nobody really can care less what's going on with y'all's lives and what your battle, your struggle. But we expect y'all to, cater to us and be there for us when we're down. But we don't have the same kind of compassion towards y'all.
Right.
So it's really unfortunate.
And Stephanie said, "This has been very empowering. I love you guys. Oh, and we love you too, Stephanie. You're our sister. We love you, and you're very welcome." But it says here, what does it mean that women are the weaker vessel? This is 1 Peter 3:7. The context of 3:7 says, likewise, husbands, live with your wives in an understanding way, showing honor to the woman as the weaker vessel, since they are heirs with you of the grace of life. The grace of life. They are heirs with you of the grace of life, so that your prayers may not be hindered. And when it says, understand the basis for seeing one's wife as a vessel to honor, respect, and care for, because she is weaker. And this is not a popular idea among many women or even many men. However, the scripture tells us the reason why it says the weaker vessel is because she was easily deceived by Satan. This is why that women may also sometimes be weaker in other ways. But that does not mean that we're less than a man. It's just that we felt we were weaker than the man when Satan came to ask to deceive her to eat that apple. Right, John? And the way things are going, we can't afford to not stand. That's right.
Yeah, y'all don't have a choice but to be strong and independent because there's no covering. There's nobody that's there to lead y'all, and y'all have no choice but to fend for yourselves. To be honest with you, you know, not many men know their role. It's just want something casual. It's just something for a good time. That's the majority of men. It's not like they trying to seek for a wife and looking for a foundation and want a legacy to pass down. And so a lot of times y'all are gotta pick up the weights and carry both sides. Unfortunately, but that's how the world that we're living in.
Right. I'm just
So, yeah.
right. And I just want to cover just some signs real quickly before I go. What the signs of that you're suffering from narcissistic abuse. You experience disassociation as a survival mechanism. You walk on eggshells. You put aside your basic needs and desires, sacrificing your emotional and even your physical safety to please the abuser. You are struggling with health issues and somatic symptoms that represent your psychological turmoil. You develop a pervasive sense of mistrust. You experience suicidal ideation or self harming tendencies. You self isolate. You find yourself comparing yourself to others, often to the extent of blaming yourself for the abuse. And a lot of women that have been raped and has been violated, that's what happens. I know firsthand because that's what happened to me. I thought that it was my fault that this happened to me. You self-sabotage and self-destruct. You fear doing what you love and achieving success because they punish you for succeeding. You protect your abuser and even gaslight yourself. That's just some that's just some of it. Don't y'all know that's a soul infection? You need to get more you need yes, you need to get more involved in getting education about narcissists and abuse, because you're not just saving your soul, you're saving children, their children, children that's somebody else's children. Yes, Stephanie, she said, I thought about suicide 2 times. Let me tell you, I did too. I did too. And
Hmm.
I had felt to the point where he had hurt me so when he kept dealing with so many women, and I felt like I couldn't have him, so I might as well not live. I might as well just not even live because I felt like I couldn't live without him. I had became so relied on him. I truly made him my God and didn't even know it. I made him my God. I actually put him before God. I cheated
Wow.
on God with him. God didn't even, I'm just being the truth. I'm just saying the truth. God didn't even matter anymore when it came to him. I prayed here and there. Um, at the time you self-sabotage yourself. You do. Because you start, and then you get to the point when you find out about the other women, you get to want to call them and curse them out. You feel like they're the problem. When 9 times out of 10, he has told them he wasn't married or never was married to you, or he doesn't have a girlfriend. See, in their mind, they're single. Okay? They're single. I'm going to be honest with you. A narcissist is single. When they tell you they're single in their mind, they are single. I don't care. The physical body of a person is just somebody they use, that they're using. Like I said, y'all, we can talk about this all night. But, like I said, JC, they will have to sign up for these classes. They will have to, I'm telling you, she said Brilliant said she was told he had a wife, wasn't his wife. Oh, honey, they'll tell you. Let me tell you, when my ex-husband got married, it was told that I didn't even exist, that I was never his wife. I was a liar. I'm like, okay, I remember the ceremony. I remember buying your tux. I remember our wedding photos. We got clear evidence that we're married, and you still lied and said I wasn't your wife. Then his family glorified it by saying, oh, this is his first wife. No, sweetheart, I'm his first wife.
Yeah. Messed up. But yeah, that's what I said. Some guys that do, they'll lie about being married, and it's all a messed up situation. It's sad that a lot of
Yes,
women
and
feel that way as far as being suicidal, but that is something that we got to do as better as men, and just stop with all the abuse and calling out and quit sweeping everything underneath the rug, and just hold another man accountable. You know.
yes, you gotta hold each other accountable, and don't. If you see someone going through this, you need to even get help from someone by, I don't care if sometimes you talk to your head, it could till it's about to fall off, but start with the conversation. Get this person some help. JC, a lot of people don't like to get help. A lot of people don't want to reach out to therapists or life coaches. They don't. But I'm telling you, a therapist or a life coach will save your life, because they help you formulate a plan to get out, and they help you get out. Because I am the CEO, founder of Open Arms Connection, and my organization help people get out. I seek help. I seek shelter. I seek whatever I can do, whatever I need to do to help people get out. That's what I do. I'm more than a life coach. And I specialize for in psychology. Tiffany said a lot of people can't afford. Go ahead, Jay.
No, just saying. She was saying they can't afford the course. They can't afford a life coach. What's your thoughts about that?
Okay, so my thoughts about that, if they can't afford it, and then she said, or trust help. At some point, you have to walk by faith and have trust. You have to walk in it. If you can't afford a coach, number one, you don't know what you can afford until you seek the help first. With me, I have payment plans. I have a pay-as-you-go plan. I have it all. I'm not doing this for money, okay? I'm doing it to save lives. I'm doing it to serve my God. I'm here to serve. And I am a life coach that's not going to turn somebody away. If it's something, if you see my prices and you look at my prices and you say, you know what, Keisha, can I just do this, this, this? I will help you. Some people even say, you know what, I can't afford the prices right now, but I will save up for it. If you truly want the help or you want the help for someone else and you do need the coaching, okay, you gonna find a way. And that coach, if this is what you if you are called to help this person, you will be able to afford them. Trust me. But you have to ask first. Don't assume that someone's prices are high or they can't help. I'm staying here with my narc mom. It's very difficult. Soon as I get a place, I'm going. It's like being with him. Yeah, brilliant. I do need to talk to you. And Tiffany say, I show. Thank you again, sis. You're much needed in the community. Anything I can do to promote you, let me know. Thank you, Tiffany. And Tiffany, I will send you some of my electronic business cards. I just say that to promote me by referrals and telling people about me and guiding them to my page, and I'll send you some more information. If I don't do it by tonight, it'll be tomorrow because I got to do a video for someone. Thank you, Cortland. Thank you. God bless you. Yes. Jay, I guess the names here, I can just put my information down here in the comments and
Yeah.
and I'll inbox you all. Thanks,
Yeah.
Tiffany.
Go and do that.
Thank
Yeah,
y'all
post
for
your
this
link in the.
because, okay. I got to get this website up quick. Open Arms Connection. I'm going to put my email address here. That's my email address, openarmsconnection@yahoo.com. You can contact me there. Um, this is I'm gonna tell you this how much I love y'all. I'm gonna give y'all my phone number. Oh, you very welcome, brilliant. And make sure if I don't answer the phone to leave a message because I am a busy, busy woman. I also have a full-time job. I'm a director and I direct and I just want to make sure that you know that so you won't think that I am ignoring you. I love you all so much, and anyone that reaches out, you're a part of my family. You all are part of my family, even the ones that don't reach out. This is why I do this. Like I said, it's not for the money. This is just to bring awareness to save somebody because you never know who need this. People are out here every day going through this and don't know what to do. And people are scared to even reach out to them and say, hey, let me help you. We have to be the protectors. We can't depend on somebody else will do it. If God put it on your heart to do it, do it.
Yeah. But yeah, like I say, I want to thank Keisha for tuning in, so joining me today. Thank everybody for watching. Y'all like, share, subscribe to my channel. Go and look at Keisha, what she's out doing, and hit her up. I just want to thank everybody for joining me tonight, and everybody have a blessed night.
Bye, y'all.
All right,
Love
peace.
you. Bye.